Hey, thank you for joining me on the Renovation Nation. Okay, new project coming up. We're going to call it Project ADU. ADU, Accessory Dwelling Unit. What is an accessory dwelling unit? Well, basically, it is a space, whether it is attached or detached or part inside of a home, that many have referred to as mother-in-law units, granny flats, that sort of thing. But the definition is basically that, one, it is in smaller square footage than the main house. It is fully contained. It's not like just a bedroom and a bathroom, but also has a kitchen, bedroom, bathroom. It could be a studio type. It could have more than one bedroom. Again, smaller square footage in the main home. And the other thing is it has to have its own ingress and egress, or basically in layman's terms, you can have it's attached, maybe a doorway going into it from the main house, but it has to have its own accessibility from the outside. And that's important. As far as financing goes, conventional wise, it also needs to be behind a single family residence. You can't get normal financing to build an accessory dwelling unit if it is behind a multi-unit, 2 to 4 unit, that sort of thing. So that's basically it. So we're starting a new series called Project ADU. And pretty soon we're going to meet with the contractor, John Chmielewski, and we're right at the very beginning of it. So be part of this adventure with us as we start Project ADU. Make sure to subscribe to this video, like it, share it, and hit the notification bell. So when new episodes come out, you'll be notified. We're going to learn a lot. We're right in the very beginning stages. I think the plans have been approved. I believe the permits have been paid. But they are now at the point, I think, ready to start clearing the area and maybe ready to do a concrete pad. This is going to be just under 750 square feet, a detached ADU, and it is on a home that, and it's not common in a lot of areas, but in the Sacramento area, it is it's not a duplex, but it is a halfplex where there's ownership in one half of the property and ownership in another half. This client happens to own one half of the property and they're building an ADU behind it. That is still considered a single family residence in this case. Now, one can make an argument as to what kind of ADU project can you build? Can you do one that's a garage conversion? Very common. Could you utilize space within the home for a JDU or a junior ADU unit? Absolutely. Others may want to build out on the existing home attached and create an accessory dwelling unit there. Your garage conversion may be an attached garage, could be a detached garage, or you can build a separate unit altogether, detached from the home, which is, in this case, that's what it is. Now, depending on the jurisdiction where you're at, sometimes it's a lot easier as far as county code and inspections and all that other kind of stuff. Other times it could be a little bit more challenging. In this area, it may be a little bit more challenging, which is good because you're going to follow along with the good, bad, and the ugly of the process. So make sure to join me on Project ADU. Let's go talk to the contractor. Okay, here we are out at the site for Project ADU. I have in front of me John Chmielewski, who is the contractor, and you know of the property, the house left for dead. starting a new project here, and we're building an ADU. First off, tell us a little bit about what we're building.
All right, so this will be a detached 749 square foot, 2-bedroom, 1-bath ADU. Pretty much, nice 750 square foot, 2-bedroom, 1-bath house is really what we're looking at here. Super excited for this project for the clients. This will really be able to maximize their space. This is currently a rental property for them, so this will give them a second unit on their property for rental and be a fun project.
Cool. So tell me a little bit of how we got here in regards to getting to this point, because I did discuss, this project. I mean, they're projects, people do ADU projects all over the United States.
Absolutely.
Depending on the jurisdiction. Some are like real super easy. Other ones, there's always complications. And the beauty of this one is we're going to have the good, bad, and the ugly.
Yep.
Tell us about what the process of what we had to get to just to the point of breaking ground.
Fair enough. So really, time is what has been our biggest holdback so far. When you're excited and want to do these projects, a lot of clients are like, hey, I'm ready to go, let's get this done, let's start building. But to do this legally and properly, first we have to go through an architect and engineer, have them draw up the plans that is appropriate for your local region, county, city, building codes and stuff like that. Then from there, we have to submit that into your local, city or county ordinance. So in this case, Sacramento County, where that goes through plan check, making sure that they agree with what the architect and engineer is designing and all the codes and everything that they put into it for the structure. Plus, the city's going to look at it and go, hey, is this actually feasible for the site and all those details? So that is a process. Now, I always tell clients, like, spend, having your mind after we get through the initial part with the architect engineers, which could take 2 to 3 months, just because they're a lot of times right now at least very busy individuals. And then once we get through that part, now you're probably looking at a 4 to 6 month period of just the plan check that goes through the city of each of their steps, because you're going to go through the planning department, but you're also going to go through the fire department. You're going to go through the schools, because they have their fees and stuff like that. Some of them you're going to go through hazardous waste and recycling programs. There's all these different steps that you have to go through that all have their individual paperwork and programs that need to be filled out and agreed upon before you can get through that whole process. Some entities are really simple. They send you a whole packet, you can just bust it all out. Some are one step at a time. In this particular scenario, it ended up being one step at a time. So, we're close to almost, sadly, a year into this project. About 8 months, I think, total right now, from start with working with the architects and engineers to actually getting an approved plan set so we can break ground.
So it'll actually be quicker to build the unit than all the prep before we even get there.
Agreed. Yeah, we're probably looking at a 3 to 4 month build time completely, from today to when I get to turn the keys over and they can have a tenant move in there.
So it sounds like there's just as much involved, or nearly as much involved, in building a ground up ADU than, say, building a home.
Correct. Ground up.
I mean, as far as all the code requirements and stuff like that.
They are the same. I mean, realistically. Now, the only difference for a home is, there are some new requirements for homes that have some, deeper checks, as well as just your initial cost. On this particular area, with architect fees and plan fees and permit fees and everything like that, we're probably around like 12,000-ish, somewhere around there. And that's why I was saying, hey, this building is 749 square feet. If we went to 750 square feet, the ordinance here in this area would consider that an actual new construction home, not an ADU. And that would trigger a whole bunch more fees. So we would go from potentially, right now I said around 12,000 to closer to 50,000 in fees.
Right.
So it really goes up quick. So really play out, hey, if you're really just having this as an accessory unit dwelling, do you want to go above that square footage, or understand what those square footages are in your area to control costs?
Well, the other thing is with an accessory dwelling unit, they have different setback rules when it comes to building a new home.
Correct.
Correct. So that 1 square foot would have then taken this out of being an accessory dwelling unit into a second unit,
Yes.
thus changing the setback requirements,
Yes.
which probably wouldn't even make it possible to build this unit.
You're very correct at that. Yeah,
So
very
we're pretty close right to the maximum amount of the space that we could use for an accessory dwelling unit.
agreed. And just the feasibility of this lot, really, this is the biggest footprint that we could put back here to truly make it work, I think, comfortably for both the current building and the new building, to have some separation between the tenants and stuff like that.
Now, one of the nice things about an accessory dwelling unit, you had mentioned earlier that the owner would be able to get a source of rent from that, which is great. Well, just recently, guidelines came out from lenders that are now allowing, whether it's FHA or Fannie Mae, that are now allowing a person to qualify using the income when they're purchasing a home or refinancing a home of the anticipated market value or the market rent value of that ADU.
Agreed.
which is new, which only tells you that it's become a very important part of housing needs and everything else like that. So
Agreed.
I think that's a good thing, and it'll
Yes.
probably then bump up the amount of ADUs we're going to start to see pop in the scene. So in this particular project, I think I mentioned this home is actually a halfplex, which still qualifies as a single family residence. The interesting thing is when we got here, let me just kind of pan over to the entryway. Obviously, to get heavy equipment back there, there's not a whole lot of space. So you save the fence there and cut open the thing, and we'll go in the back. It might be a little noisy, and see the equipment that's just starting the excavating now for the pad. Shall we go ahead and just lead the way? It was amazing watching them go through this small space. Here, of course, is the area that's planning on the ADU. There's that little excavator right there. Everybody needs one of those. And this is the backyard. Where's the lines? Where's this going to go at?
Pretty much the front of the house is going to end right about here.
Uh-huh.
This will be the staircase walkway up to the front patio and front door to your right. Kitchen is going to be right here in the front, next to the bathroom, and then 2 bedrooms in the back, with the living room in the back corner in the front here.
Cool. So this is like right at the very beginning. So explain what he's doing right now. He's just leveling everything out and...
Yeah, so currently what he's working on is, first we had a few trees back here, so we have to get those stumps out. So they're digging the stumps and roots out. And then from there, he's going to do some leveling, and then for the foundation of the home, we need a footing, a strong, area for all the weight to hold. So underneath the concrete slab around the perimeter is going to be a 1 foot wide by 1 foot deep, concrete footing to support all the exterior walls.
Nice. So when do you think this excavating part will be completed? Is this like a 1-day job, 2-day job?
This is probably about a 3-day job, realistically, I think, for the excavating part, to get them all the digging and everything done. Then after that, they will put a vapor barrier down to help any major moisture coming up later through the concrete and creating, mold, mildew issues and stuff like that underneath their flooring. Then they will do rock on top of it to get a really hard packed surface. They'll add rebar, and then from there we'll be able to have an inspection before we pour concrete. But then we'll be prepped and ready to pour.
Nice.
So,
Yeah, I see there's the blueprints over there.
Correct.
Let me just kind of do a little peek over the top. That's basically the...
So we're gonna be 5 foot and 5 foot. And then we'll square it off the house. So let's get our marks over here, and then pull these marks square off the house. Okay?
Do you have a copy of the elevation drawings, what it might look like?
Yeah, they're actually in here too.
Okay.
So this will kind of be the front here, where I
Uh-huh.
kind of pointed out, and then the different side views and stuff like that. So this will be the main front side view that you're going to see right here. This will be the left side of the house, back of the house, and the right side of the house.
Nice. And you also have the floor plan, what it looks like, or if it's under there, don't worry about it.
Let's see, I think that.
Here we are.
We'll see once again coming in here, front door, kitchen area. I apologize, I had the bathroom on the other side. Bathroom, living area, and then the 2 bedrooms.
Nice. So it'd be probably 3-4 people can live there
Easily, yeah.
easily. So
And this will be about 25 foot deep and about 32 feet wide.
and all that's going to fit in this area right here.
Nice and snug.
Great. Well, let's head back out to the front.
The richest county in the area. They are. There ain't no acting. Where's this thing starting out at? Over here. 5 foot, wherever the distance is, that's where it starts. Yeah. Interior, what is it, 30 feet?
Now, one quick question is, let's talk about the, obviously we're going to have to run utilities to it.
Correct. So
What does that look like?
Right now, this area is all electric, so there's no gas. So right now, we're going to do a panel upgrade here to run a main circuit from the panel to the ADU. So we'll be trenching and doing conduit under the ground to that. Sewer is actually right here up front. So this sewer line is about 5.5, 6 feet deep. And that's something you really want to look at and understand where that is when you do a project, because from the building to the site, we have to have a fall so that all the sewage drains away from the house. And if this is too high and we don't have enough fall, then that may create some big issues on where you can build or if you even can build. So some of those feasibilities, big things that you should understand. Water, electric, gas, all those can go uphill, downhill, doesn't really matter, but waste needs to travel downhill.
Okay.
So something in this scenario worked out pretty good. Water, we're probably going to pull. There's a irrigation line in the back of the house, so we'll probably make that the main connection just to keep it quick and easy, and go from there.
And so now to tie into that sewer, are you going to have to go into the driveway?
Correct, yeah. So we will probably, somewhere around where you're standing, we'll cut a trench in the concrete to dig down to get into this, connect to the sewer line here.
Okay. And it's just a single line that goes directly to it. It's not connecting to an existing line to the house.
We will, yeah, no, it is. So yeah, the current line to the house probably just goes straight to the house. So just before the connection to the city, we will cut that and do a Y. So we'll have a Y that will connect the main house sewer line to the Y that also goes down to the ADU.
And do you have any idea how deep it is right there at that point?
Yeah, it's right about 5.5 feet, right around there, 5.5,
Okay.
6 foot deep.
And it's going to just have a slow slope up going back towards the unit itself.
Correct. Yeah. Yeah.
Okay.
Because from here, the distance we have will be about a 30-inch drop is what we'll need, so a little less than 3 feet. And from the top there, we'll probably sink it about a foot to 18 inches down to start with. So, so with that being said, by the time we get here, we're going to be close to 5 feet. So it really won't be much to do the final tie into the drain.
So that's one of the things a lot of people don't consider.
Yep.
Is that, I mean, what happens if that one particular sewer tie-in didn't accommodate? Is there a possibility of adding another sewer line with the city, or is that create a
Every
whole?
situational is different there. I mean, yeah, potentially, if the city allows it, you might be able to tie in at a different location. There are some pump systems that if you weren't deep enough, that you might be able to do an inline pump to pump stuff out. Certain areas you might be looking at a septic system. It really all depends on the region and the ordinances in your local jurisdiction.
And in your estimation, where we are in the project right now, where they're excavating, at what point, time-wise, week-wise, or whatever, would we be at having a foundation poured?
So I'm hoping here, weather depending, of course. I know, we'll see how that goes, as well as we're getting the holiday season. So, but at best case scenario, if they're kicking butt this week and we don't run into weather, we might be ready next week to pour concrete. But it really just depends on, inspection time, holidays. Realistically, it'll probably be in 2 weeks that we'll pour.
Okay.
So, yeah.
Which would be good, maybe to come out again once it's all been poured.
Correct. Yep.
And then we could get kind of an idea of what that looks like.
Absolutely, yeah. Finished, and even maybe before, if you want to see all the rebar and footings and what it looks like
Oh,
before
yeah.
and after, might be good to come see that. And then as soon as it's done pouring, we'll have to cure for about a week or so, just depending again on weather and temperature. And then from there, we start building.
Will you have the sewer line run at that point in time
Yeah,
as well?
so before the slab is poured, we'll have the trenching either started or all the way finished for electrical and plumbing and water. Yes,
Okay.
that'll be part of this process.
Maybe it might be kind of fun just seeing them pump the concrete in
Could be.
as well.
Definitely, yep. Yeah, they usually have a big truck with a big hose that takes it all back there.
Oh, great.
Yep.
Well, thanks a lot, John, for
Absolutely.
the beginning, stage one,
Yep.
episode 1 of Project ADU. Don't forget to hit the subscribe button,
Yep.
share, make any comments that you may want, but for sure, once you subscribe, hit the notification bell so when new episodes come out, then you'll be notified and be able to see the next step in real time as we go.
Absolutely.
Thank you once again for joining us for the Renovation Nation Project ADU.
Thanks, guys.